What's up, guys? I'm Tanner Chidester, and in this video series, Justin Waller's team have come to Miami to immerse themselves in the world of online business with me as their guide. So buckle up and get ready to dive into the realm of entrepreneurship. Okay, so today is day 2, and this is all gonna be about lead generation, okay? So the main method I want to show you guys, this isn't the only way to run ads, but this is called conversion conversations. This is more about follow-ups than actual running ads. So meaning, well, it's both. But what I mean by that is a lot of people think that if they run ads, then they're automatically going to be successful. But more times than not, it actually comes down to the follow-up system. Okay. So when I was starting my company and we were starting to run a lot of ads, I deemed or named my follow-up system conversion conversations. So the definition of that is it's the process of having a one-to-one conversation with a lead that convinces them to buy when they otherwise wouldn't have. So meaning when people are running ads, the things you have to keep in mind is everyone's competing against each other. So if they're clicking on this ad and this ad and that ad, then they're making a decision who they're gonna go with. So if Justin, for example, is messaging every single lead and then, let's say John is not, they're more likely to go with Justin simply because he's taking time to talk to them, have questions, etc. That's part of what this method is. So the way I thought you would get leads, or the way I thought you had to get leads is, and this is what most people think, is they can post a link and they'll be rich. Justin can get away with that more because he has such a big following, but it's because of volume. It's not because it's the best method. For ads, a lot of people think that all they have to do is run them to a webinar. Do you guys know what a webinar is? Okay, so they opt in and, hey, we're gonna have this class at this time, and they hopefully will buy. Again, I want you guys to understand that what you have seen work, that's not normal. So if you're seeing it working, the thing you need to understand is that's great, but it's not usually enough for the average person. So what we're trying to do is teach you guys how to market as experts for maybe an average person. And then when you amplify that with a following, it's game over because you're hitting on all cylinders. You want to scale what's unscalable. So my company does around 200,000 DM conversations a month. Back and forth. I have a full team of 12 or 13 people. We're in there all day, every day, right? If you can do that, most people can't keep up with it. They can't hire the team, they can't manage them, they don't have scripts, SOPs, etc. And so they really struggle. So as you guys are watching today, I'm gonna show you how you can optimize every little thing to get the most juice out of the lemon, so to speak. Now, I just do this for context so you guys understand. The way I got clients originally, organically, is I would DM them, and then when I sold fitness and I've sold business consulting. So just so you guys understand, when I would sell fitness, I usually would push them to a 15-minute call. If it was a cold DM, cold DM means they don't know who I was. The reason for that is, think if you're knocking on a door and you say, hi, I'm here to sell you something, it's really hard. But if you knock on the door and you say, hey, my name's Tanner, I just moved in down the street, I saw, you play basketball as well. You try to build rapport first. That's what a 15-minute call is for. Then I would go to a sales call and a close. On B2B offers, I just go straight to a sales call. So when I say straight to a sales call, I knock on the door and I'm saying, hey, my name's Tanner, I'm the security guy in the area, da, 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 da. We'll talk through more of why that is in a second. So most people will run the ad. You see down below, there's the opt-in page, then they have the webinar and the BSL, and then a call. There's nothing wrong with that. I just don't think it's the most optimal all the time. We'll go through why that is. This is how I like to run ads. So if you're looking on the screen, they'll click the ad and they usually go into Messenger. That's typically going to be IGDM, could be Facebook, doesn't matter, but usually it's gonna be some DM. So if you're doing a DM function, it has to be Facebook or Instagram. That's the only ones you can do. From there, once we get their information inside Messenger, we get their email, we'll get their number, we'll start calling and texting, we'll DM them, we'll push them to a Facebook group, we'll do what we call 2 steps. I'll walk you guys through that. We also will push them to live events and trainings. That gets us a lot better response. Plus, you can see after they opt in, we still will send them to a BSL and a call. So the reason I like this is what it does is the hardest thing to do is scale DMs. Why? If you're getting a lot or you have a big team, etc. But if you can scale it, you usually can get more juice out of it. Now, I'm not saying you guys have to do this with Justin. What I am saying is Justin can run an ad straight to an opt-in page and it will work. But I'm showing you guys this because when I get clients, I don't usually get to talk to someone like Justin. I talk to someone that has 0 followers. So my job as a consultant is go, what's the easiest way for them to get results? Typically, anytime you can add personalized one-to-one attention in, it's gonna decrease the level of marketing needed to qualify someone. So for example, if you click an ad and the next page it's $1,000, that better be a good video. But if you click an ad and then you have a conversation with me and you schedule a sales call, Video doesn't have to be so good anymore. I'm just letting you guys know that because what you guys will see work in marketing for Justin may not work for the average person. And no matter whether you guys work with him forever or not, I want you to know this because you're gonna see things work for him that wouldn't work for someone else, and that will give you a skewed perception on marketing. So I'm just trying to make sure we touch the basics, okay?
Justin has, I don't know, like more magic, like you could say more,
Yeah, just more
star
following.
power. Okay, yeah. Gotcha.
It's mostly the following.
Gotcha.
It's mostly the following because
just the like the number.
It's also his branding. It's also the level of engagement, I would say. The thing is that, like, if you guys look at my account, for example, my account doesn't have as high of engagement. I don't know exactly why. I mean, part of it's probably the content. It's not as edgy, but the other part is that I've done a lot of shout outs and things over the years. And what I think has happened, again, this is just out there, but what I think's happened is when you do a shout out is where I pay another page and they promote me. They send all these people over, but I don't know what they're sending, right? They tell me they're sending XYZ, but there's no way to know. So maybe half of it's real, half of it's bots, half of it's spam. So what I think happens is as that gets built up, when you do a post or you publish it, let's say they send it out to 100 people Instagram and 50% of those people are bots. Well, guess what? That means it gets less engagement, so they stop pushing it. That's my theory. I don't know if that's true. There's no way to know. But with Justin hasn't done any of that. So everything he's gotten is 100% organic, legit, whatever you want to call it. So what I'm saying is if Justin does a post or Justin runs an ad, because he has that following and he has all that engagement and he really hasn't sold anything before besides the real world, he's gonna get away with it in a way that someone else wouldn't. So just to give you a quick example, the thing Justin has is, so let's say he has 1 million followers here, right? If he gets 1% to buy whatever he's selling, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars. But if you take someone over here who has 0 followers and they don't have his speaking power, engagement, etc., do you see why that wouldn't work?
Yeah.
Just simply from that. And so what I want to make sure I do is I give you guys a baseline, because what you're going to see work for him doesn't usually work for people. That's why everyone wants to work with him, because a good marketer knows if I can leverage his following, it's way more profitable and they don't have to work as hard. So for example, Iman Gadzhi's another guy. Iman Gadzhi will do a launch a couple times a year. He'll do 30 million a launch. No phone calls, nothing. He just runs them to a page. Why? He has a massive following. So if you have 4 million subs, now let's turn that into a 4, same thing. Does that make sense? Yeah. So I'm not taking anything away. What I'm trying to get you guys to understand is you can market at a level 5 and get better results for Justin than I can market for this person at a level 10. But that's why I want to make sure you guys understand that, because what a lot of people will do is they'll say, oh yeah, this is how you do it XYZ, but they're not taking into account who they have. If I have LeBron James on my basketball team, I'm going to do way better than if I have a 5th grader. That's the difference, okay? So a couple more basics, then we'll get into it. There's only 3 ways to get a lead. So cold is a cold outreach. So people who don't have a follower, let's take the 0 person on the board. The way I teach those clients to actually start getting leads is they have to cold DM. So think of knocking on the door. It's terrible. That's the most inefficient way, but it's cheap, right? It's free. They're just giving away their time. The next is where Justin's at. Followers, likes, and comments. That's preferred. And then third is ads. We're gonna go through that today. So I want you guys to also have expectations for your clients, okay? So let's say in the future you guys don't do the construction, you don't do the supplements. Let's say you guys do business consulting. These are the numbers that most people should expect if you're doing a DM ad. We're gonna go through the different types of ads, but there's 2 types of ads you guys can run. It's gonna look like one of these 2. It's either gonna be like this, where they'll click an ad, it'll go to a DM, then it will go to an opt-in page, then usually a VSL and a call. This is for high ticket. If it's low ticket like the supplements, you would opt that out for a sales page, no call, right? So I'll actually do all 3. So this is high ticket. High ticket means it's gotta be on the phone. Low ticket, actually low ticket, you usually do this. And then if you did a straight to page ad, I'll break that down for you. Opt-in, and then VSL, sales call. Okay, so we'll break this down really quick. So there's 3 different types, so 2, 3. Okay, for a beginner, this is usually better. Why?
Cheaper.
Less skill, not that it's cheaper, it's actually not. It's easier. It's harder, but it's better. I'll explain. So when they click the ad and they go into your DM on IG, now someone's in your inbox, they're interested in what you have to sell. So if you have a good messaging team or you're messaging yourself, you can book the call from the DM, right? The other way you can book the call is once they click here, I'll show you guys how to do it with automations, but you can fire a link that will send them to the opt-in page. Well, remember, once they go here, you can start marketing, remarketing to email and text, right? Stuff like that. Plus, they can watch the VSL and book a call there. So what you're doing is you're maximizing the chances they book a call, which is the goal, right? The more people I get to book a call, the better. The reason this is better than running it here is because you can have that one-to-one conversation. So let's go down to this one. What most people do to run ads is they do this. It's harder. Why? Well, when they click the ad, they go to the opt-in page. So, hey, you know, how to build your construction company. Let's say that's Justin's offer. This VSL has to be badass, super good, like killer. Why? Because if they click here and watch this video and it sucks, guess what? They won't book the call. Now, how can you communicate with them? Well, you can email, but emails only have 30% open rate. So what's better? Emails or DMs? DMs. What's the downside? Harder to scale. If you were getting 10,000 DMs a day, super hard to keep up with. If you're getting 10,000 leads that opt in a day and they're just opting in, you don't have to do anything. So what's the easiest? Easiest, but this one's usually better depending on the person. Now, if I was running ads for Justin, where would I start? Here. Why? It's easier and he has mega brand power. I don't think he needs to do this to start. If he did do that to start though, you guys would laugh because it would be insane. Typically, if you run ads this way, you have to have massive back-end offers, meaning upsells, right? So 30 grand, 50 grand, 100 grand. Depends on the business. This is what they do for low ticket. So low ticket, if I'm running ads for a supplement, usually you want to run ads straight to a sales page. Why? Because every step you usually get 50% drop off. So if 100 people click the ad, that usually means 10 people will actually get to this page. Out of those 10 people, maybe you'll get one to this page, etc. So there's usually massive drop off. Every extra step, it makes sense. You're making it harder for people to get through. So if you want less people to get through and you want higher quality, you make it harder. If you want more people to get through and less quality, you make it easier. So when you're getting supplements for 47 bucks, that's way easier to sell than a $10,000 offer, right? You can't sell a $10,000 offer on an opt-in page. Maybe he could pull it off, but it's tough. So for what you guys are doing to start, if I were you, and we'll go into this today, if I'm starting to sell the high ticket, I would start probably right here to start because it's easier to scale and it takes less effort. Justin won't need as big of a team, right? If that didn't work or you wanted to increase conversions, you go here, but that's way harder because the amount of people you would need in there, you'd have maybe 6-hour shifts, you'd have a huge team, you'd have to have a manager, you'd have to have messaging, role plays, etc. It's just like a sales team, except for messaging.
Yeah, that's so. And not to interrupt you, but that's basically what I do. I have.
You're doing everything.
Yeah, no, that high ticket part is basically what the position that I'm in.
This.
Yeah, so I have a team of DMers. Like I've fired a whole bunch of guys.
Right.
I have I would say a bunch of killers now that just like stick
Sweet.
by me, have scripts and all that stuff and whatnot.
And then they're pushed it to a sales call?
Yeah.
For
Well,
war? Is that for War Room?
They would, yeah, for the war room.
War Room.
Or the real world, both of them. Yeah,
Okay.
There's no sales call for the real world.
Yeah, you don't need it for the real world. It's too cheap.
But I assume it gets crazy.
With ads, yeah. So think about it. You have to have a massive system. So what my team does, and we'll get more into it today.
Oh, sorry, my question was. My question was, do you like clear all of your DMs on a day-to-day basis?
We try to, bro.
Okay.
It's tough, but I mean, think about it. The DMs work the same way as sales team. So remember, the goal, and you have to have rules and stuff like that. So let me give you an example. We'll talk about this with your ads, but let's say you're running ads. So we'll go back to the regular. We'll just do an opt-in page and a VSL and a call. Let's say that you're letting everyone book a call, really easy. So there's not a lot of follow-up. Follow-up meaning when usually on a VSL, I'll have an application, right? So they'll have a button here to book a call. And when they book a call, they have to answer, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 questions. Why do we do that? Because if someone books a call and it says, do you have any money? No, etc. I don't want to talk to them. So what I'm getting at is if you just let anyone book a call, you might get 100 calls in a day, but maybe only 50 show up. So if you have 5 sales guys, well, what's the problem? 3 of those guys aren't making any money. That's where a lot of people run into business issues is because they overhire, because they don't understand how to follow up and vet quality. So my team will get a lot more bookings than we actually allow to make it to the calendar. So what usually happens is if someone books a call and it's not a good look, I'll have a setter or a DM person, whatever you want to call them, follow up with this call, and if they're not a good look, we'll cancel it if it is, and then it goes over there. Okay, we'll talk more about that today, but it's the same thing with DM setters. So as you scale, usually you can only have 2 people in the inbox at a time. So what we do is we'll have someone in the top of the inbox starting conversations. So Justin has 1 million followers. You guys could easily start combos every day, every day. So we have someone doing that, and then we have someone at the bottom who's answering the oldest messages. You can even have an overnight person. The issue with the overnight person though sometimes is because no one's watching them, they don't do a good job and you're not checking as much. We've had issues with that, so we don't do overnight anymore. But
what do you use to manage their messages? Like to watch them and monitor them?
We don't live.
Yeah, well,
there's softwares you can use, but we don't watch them live. What we do is we have KPIs.
Okay,
So
I got you.
yeah, so what we do is this is typically the KPI. It's going to depend on your business, but usually it's going to be 0.5 per hour. Okay, so what that means is they have to get a booking for every 2 hours of work, at least one booking. Now, keep in mind, with Justin, it could be higher. A typical sales team, for example, they might be 30% closing. With Justin, they might be 50%. So if Justin's team closes at 50%, that's just your new standard. This is the normal standard. So I tell people if they're running ads and you have a setter, they go, how do I know if my setter's performing? If he works 10 hours, he should get at least 5 applications. Good ones too. You also usually want to put a bonus incentive around them getting that close. Why? Because if you don't, what are they going to do? They're just going to book all the You don't want a bunch of calls, right? Because what does that do? Say you have a setter who's closing or setting 1 call per hour. You're like, he's amazing. And then all these calls get on with the calendar and none of them close or they're What you're doing is now they're booking more calls than they should. Your sales guys have more calls than they should that aren't good. You're hiring more sales staff. You don't want that. You want the leanest team possible. Why? More profit, easier to manage, less stress, less overhead, everything. You don't, even if it's 1099 and they're 10% commission, it's easier to manage 2 sales guys than 6. I mean, that's common sense. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. Also,
Yeah.
So this is under the premise though that they know that they're talking to an employee, a staff. Basically, they're not talking to you.
No, they think they're talking to Justin.
They think they're talking to Justin.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how
you don't have to do that, but you're not going to get as good results. It's just you're not. So what they'll do is they might say XYZ ABC, and then Justin makes the call. He'll say, you guys tell him. Here's what I would say. If you guys want to frame it as Justin to be ethical, he just tells the truth. He says, hey, I have a team who's in my inbox, but I'm in here sometimes as well. It's true.
Yeah.
Right?
Right now, like I actually taught them how to talk like Justin.
Yeah, that's the point.
So they're so good to the point that like
that's perfect.
Yeah, we had a problem actually before when like Justin was growing really rapidly, right before our YouTube channel got down.
Yeah.
That people were like, "Oh, this isn't Justin," and then I looked in and I was like, "Oh, I see what we're doing wrong," and then we changed the script.
Yeah.
And now they're not even saying it.
And you can say it's your team, but it's never going to do as well.
Gotcha.
The other thing is you guys just have to make sure if you guys start running ads, you're going to get such a massive influx. You have to have a team big enough to handle the influx. So that's hard to know right off the bat. But for example, the way scaling works is usually the company goes up, then you hire a bunch of people, then it scales up, then you hire people. And as you hire, you're losing profit and you're increasing staff. And then you go up again. So when you guys start running ads, you'd want to start low budget because I just think it's going to work so well that if you just jacked it up to 100,000 a month, I mean, you guys would be so overwhelmed. I don't think you would know what to do. And then what happens is now you're losing money because you're spending more than you're actually making because you can't handle the volume. I guess let me ask you, how many setters do you have now? And then how many sales reps do you have now?
I have 4 setters, honestly.
Okay, so you have 4, and then how do they work shifts? Is it half?
They work shifts, yeah.
How long though?
They usually work a 12-hour shift.
Oh wow, 12 hours.
Yeah.
So,
but actually, I would say it's 8 hours.
Okay,
sure. And then,
I would say long term, if you can get them to 6 to 8 hours, is what I was going to say. Just because their productivity goes down, even if they tell you they won't, there's no way someone's going to work for 12 hours without loss of productivity. Yeah. So if you could cut them into half shifts, so instead of a full day, you'd have someone do 6 hours and then 6 hours, and then next day 6 hours and 6 hours, stuff like that. What was the sales team?
The sales team, honestly, it's just me.
Okay, so you take all the calls.
Yeah.
So how many calls do you get a day on average, you'd say?
Yeah, at this point, since we don't do any more marketing, it's like basically none.
Really?
Yeah,
so what are you selling mostly? Is it just real world?
It's just real world. And actually, all the war rooms that I get, they're so warm, like it's super.
But you guys don't try to push war room?
No, not anymore.
Why not?
Basically, I think it's a move with the products that we're selling.
And also, Instagram doesn't like War Room and Tier W anymore.
Like what happened? What happens
like
though?
Instagram
They start taking accounts down.
Yeah, our like affiliate accounts on Instagram, they got removed basically because of us mentioning that.
Okay, so on average, what you guys will see is that it's going to depend, but what I would typically say is your applications, if you're doing a good job, you're going to cancel 50%, give or take. It depends, but I'd say 30 to 50%. So if you get 100 apps, if your team is actually really qualifying, meaning they want to do it, they have money, which is the goal before the sales call, you're going to probably keep 50 to 70 of those calls.
That's probably that.
Okay. And then what you want for a sales guy, a full-time sales guy, it's 100 calls to 150 calls a month usually. And that includes no-shows, right? You're looking for about a 20 to 30% no-show, right? So you'll learn this stuff as you guys run ads, you'll adjust. But the good news is that if you're already doing this, you could run straight to DMs. It's just a lot harder to manage because what you're noticing right now is probably it's either they DM you or you guys DM them so you can control the pace. When you're running ads, you're not controlling any of the pace. It's just coming as you spend. So on average, if you spend, let's say it's $10 a lead, and you spend $1,000, that's 100 leads a day, plus all the ones you're already getting. So you'd have to have a really optimized team. We have scripts, we have SOPs. We can share that stuff with you guys if you want. Overall, the biggest thing for the setters is you want 0.5 apps per hour. And for the sales guys, they got to be closing at least 30% total call volume.
You call that in like app for application?
Application is like book sales call, yeah.
Sales
Yeah, when I say application, book sales call, correct. Okay, so all I want to do real quick is give you guys expectations of what I give to my team and my clients. So cold, remember, cold is I go to an IG hashtag and I reach out to a random person. It's the lowest form of traffic. You guys don't need to do any of that. There's no point. Justin has a ton of followers. We want to hit all the warm leads. Start there. But if you send 100 messages and you're doing it properly, you should expect 15 respond, 3 book a call, you close 1. So that's the guideline. Now, someone goes, well, Tanner, how am I doing? If you're not hitting those numbers, you're not doing very good. That's how you think of it. How do I know these numbers? I've done it for years and years and years. That's what they should be. And that's very average. It could be better, but if they're not hitting that, so for example, if they send 100 messages and only get 15 responses, what's wrong? The first message is weird. If they get 15 to respond, but they don't book a call, what's the issue? They can't hold a conversation for sales. They don't know how to push them to a call, and then you guys get the rest. Followers, you're gonna get a little bit of a higher response. So you're gonna book a few more calls, you're gonna close. Ads are about the same as followers, okay? Usually ads are about the same as followers. They're cold, so meaning they don't know who Justin is usually, but what they're saying is, I'm interested in what you're offering. That's the difference, okay? This is a normal conversation. So this is an example of a 60-minute call. This is not your guys' offer, but this is how it may sound. So typically when I'm sending this to a warm lead, I'll say something that relates. So for example, left or right, hey, that Corvette's sick. I was thinking about getting one. Do you like it? And they'll say, yeah, it's great. And then I say, I'm not much of a car guy. How's your business going? Or in Justin's case, you might say, you know, what gets you interested in construction and building a construction company, or what gets you interested in supplements, whatever. The supplements, you guys aren't going to want to spend time DMing. The only reason you would DM if it's the high ticket sales calls. The supplements is not worth your time. It's going to take way too much overhead and you won't sell enough. But for the high ticket construction, this will work. So left or right. So I say, yeah, what's your goals for 2024? They might say, hey, you know, it's good. How about yourself? And then, you know, I'll say, yeah, I'm doing really well. Any struggles or anything? And usually people will start to tell you the struggles. That, yeah, I mean, I've looked into construction, but I don't really know what to do, etc. And you'll say, yeah, so, you know, have you hired anyone before? And they're like, yeah, I've hired a few people, but it didn't work. How did it go? Good or bad? And then the conversation will continue and you guys can read it. But essentially all I'm doing is I'm trying to ask in short, and it sounds like you guys already do this already a little bit, but to make this very simple for you guys to understand, typically for a warm DM, so warm DM is anyone who's following Justin, they'll send a personalized first message. So you click on the profile, hey dude, you know, thanks for the follow. What's your construction goals? Or you say, hey dude, sick car, thanks so much for following me. What's your goal? You just go right into it because they're already interested in Justin. So if they get a reach out, plus they're gonna be like, oh my God, Justin, right? Once they do that, you're gonna ask them typically, what's the goal, right? So you'll ask, what's the goal? What's the struggle? What have you tried? Have you ever worked with a coach, right? Have you ever gotten help before? And then you ask if they want help, and then you pitch the call. Couple pointers I'll give you guys. You're already probably doing it, but I'll give you a couple pointers. As you're going through this, remember people, it's not gonna be just how it looks on the screen. That's my attempt to make it simplistic, but people could say anything. The biggest point is we're trying to point out their problems, so then they're open to taking the call, right? So if I get someone who says, I say, what's your goal? I wanna build my business. What are you struggling with? Well, I just don't get leads. Like, yeah, I get that. What have you tried before? Well, I've tried this. Well, why do you think that didn't work? I don't know. I think it just doesn't work. So you think no one who's done that before has had that work? They're like, well, no. It's like, okay, so you probably did something wrong, right? Yeah, that's what you want. You want people to acknowledge that the problem exists. If someone doesn't think they have a problem, they're not gonna buy, period. And then I'll go, okay, got it. So have you ever had a coach? Because I need them to be open to having a coach or they're not gonna buy stuff from me. They might say, yeah, yes or no. I say, how did that go? Oh, you know, went good, went bad. Okay, are you open to getting more help? Yeah, I guess I'm open. Okay, the biggest thing you're gonna learn with pitching a call that I like to do is I say, cool, so the next steps would be to book a call. Here's what I say, you guys can change it however you want, but I wanna create urgency. So I'll say, I'm down to send the link over, but it expires in about 30 minutes. So before I send it over, I just wanna make sure you got 5 minutes right now. They say, yes, you send it. And then as soon as you send it, you say, as soon as you're done, just let me know and I'll check. The reason you wanna do that is you'll mitigate follow-ups. You usually want about 3 follow-ups. So if someone doesn't respond, typically what I'll do for a follow-up, meaning they leave you on red. That's what I mean. So you guys send a message, they leave you on red. So the first one is 2 hours later. Hey, you know, just check in, did everything come through okay? They don't respond. Then I wanna hit them up the next day. So the next day, hey, you know, not trying to bother you. I just sent you the link, didn't see you fill it out. If you have any questions, let me know. Then you wait 2 days. And then at that point, you do a final follow-up. You say, hey, you know, again, I'm not trying to bother you. Just wanted to send this one more time. If there's any other way I can help you, let me know. The reason you do that, people get busy, they forget, they open it, they click on something else. This is how we've maximized following up with people who leave us on red. If they don't respond after 3 times and they keep reading it, they're not interested, period. Okay? Those are just some quick tips. This is mostly the structure. Okay? And then the better you get your team at handling objections and creating a script for them where it has a little bit of a flow, you can check out ours, the better it's gonna be. Also, the more business acumen they have. So you gotta keep in mind, the reason I'm good at answering business questions is I know a lot about business. If your team is talking to people who wanna buy high ticket construction, right? Or they wanna build a construction business, the more you teach them about how construction works, the better versed they're gonna be. Because think about it, if you talk to me about construction right now, I don't know much. So I'm gonna struggle to sound intelligent. What people are looking for is it's the same thing you get when you get a doctor. If you're hurt or injured, you want the doctor to say, well, what's up? And if you say something dumb to the doctor, he'll go, well, that's not true. When you can talk in absolute, so binary, yes or no, red or white, orange or black, etc., that's better for sales versus someone who goes, oh, well, that could work, but that could work also, because it doesn't breed confidence.
So would Justin be able to do the follow-up system? I mean, since people are assuming that Justin's messaging.
So it's up to you. It depends what the goal is. So here's what I'll tell you. Very simple. I understand what you're saying, but it just depends what Justin wants. If Justin's goal is to maximize cash, you want to follow up. I don't care what people say. I don't care how many people say, oh yeah, this isn't Justin. It doesn't matter. Some people will say that, but guess what? Who cares? It's a numbers game. Now, if Justin is, hey, I don't want to do that, it's going to hurt my brand, whatever, that's fine. But what he's basically saying is he doesn't care about this as much and he cares more about, we'll just put brand. Whatever, that's his call. But what I'm telling you is for a fact, if there's a gun in my head and he had 30 days to make as much money as possible, we would definitely do that. The way you do it is you guys would have some Excel sheet and then you just put in the names of all the people that need to be followed up with. So when they change shifts, they go in there and they follow up. So it's a super easy process, but
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I assume there was a brand versus money thing. Anyways, how like autistic do you get with the scripts? Like, because it seems like with the DM or whatever setter, there's a little bit of leeway in terms of like he has to have some sales acumen.
Yeah, for sure. So the number one thing, there's gonna be a couple things that's gonna make your setter team better. Number one is how much you pay. So for example, if you guys are gonna start running this high ticket play, it's not a B2B consulting offer. B2B usually needs the highest acumen because you're talking to guys like me and I know a lot about business, so I know what's going on behind the scenes. If you're doing blue collar workers, they may not need to be as versed because I don't know how many blue collar workers are coming from a business acumen. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you may not need to do that, but the more you pay, the better. Typically, if they're US or Canadian based, you're gonna have to pay $18 plus an hour, right? If you guys are paying way less than that right now, that's fine, but they're gonna be foreign. I'm not against foreign, but they may not be as good. Okay, it's just something to keep in mind. The biggest thing is if you can find people who have natural sales ability. So my goal when I'm hiring is I look for 7s so I can get to 10s. I'm not looking for 4s to get to 7s. You want to test people. The best way to hire is if you were hiring individuals, you bring them on and you say, hey, you're going to go through this training and then we're going to test you. And you actually test them because think about it. As a manager, you guys will learn this, but the thing that tires me out more than anything is trying to get this guy to be average. So hard, so much time, so much effort, way more mistakes. But if I can find someone who's pretty good and then get them to a 10, once you get them to a 10, way easier to manage. So what I would say is if you were doing, let's say you were looking for more setters, and we'll talk about this for reps too, but you do a job board, and job board is just, Indeed, LinkedIn, whatever. You can also just have Justin run it to his list. There's gonna be a ton of people who wanna work for him. You'd filter these people to a type form, and you look for certain answers. Those people would go to an initial interview. What's great about Typeform is based on certain answers, it'll disqualify them automatically. So what's the benefit of Typeform? At scale with a lot of volume, you don't have to do a bunch of manual follow-ups. So when I started my company, we would follow up with every single application. But what happens is over time, it's a lot of work. So what we did is we implemented Typeform, so it automatically disqualified people, so we didn't have to keep following up with them. It's pretty sweet. So what you would do is you would do a type form and then you'd get them on an initial interview, or you could just do a group interview. So you do this group interview and you say, hey, go through this training. We'll pay you for the training. You just pay them, minimum wage. And then you do a test out. And then whoever does the test out the best actually makes the team. And then you work from there. I don't do any of the hard lifting up front because you waste all this time training someone who, everyone's gonna say they're good, but most people are not good. Does that make sense? All right, so Ben's on here, guys. So Ben, I'm gonna let you share.
Okay, so basically this is the Elite 360 dashboard. It's just a demo account, so super easy. The very first step would be obviously connecting your domain. Let me log into GoDaddy real
This
quick
is from
here.
scratch. You guys have no website, nothing. We're gonna take you through scratch just in case. And then if you have websites and you want to connect it here, you can. That's what we're trying to do.
All right. So obviously, very first step you guys are going to do, you're going to create, a domain, right? You're going to create a www, right? And I'm using GoDaddy as an example here. So this is what, comes preloaded in the GoDaddy account, and you're going to basically delete everything that you don't need, like the A record. We're going to get rid of this one. So basically, we've removed everything that we can from GoDaddy. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go over to our system in Elite 360, and I'm going to connect the domain, right? So, so you're going to be logged into your system automatically with GoDaddy. That's going to help because it's going to connect it and do it all for you. So I'm just going to basically go over and say, okay, what domain am I adding? It's sidegigceos.com. Going to pop it in here. I also want to register that. Yes. Boom. And then I'm just going to let it do its work. So it's basically looking to see who's this domain set up with, right? And then you want to add these records. Going to verify. Oh, I'm sorry. It's asking me to add these records. I should have waited a second because it's going to add them automatically to the account. This might take just a few seconds for this to go through. It's not adding them yet. So hold on just one sec. Okay. So I'm going to have to add them myself, which is no big deal. So I'm going to add an A record. And it's saying here, let me move this over. The host is the @ symbol. Value is that little number right there. Save. Then I'm going to add a CNAME record with www. CNAME www. And then I'm pasting, I just copied this little what's in this required value. And I'm going to click save. Just give it a second. Verify records. Again, might take a second. Once this is set up, I'll show you how to connect it to a funnel. Sometimes you just have to go through it a couple of times. There it goes. Okay. I'm not going to do this just yet, but it's now in here. So you'll see this one. And this is the one you're going to work with. You don't want to work with the www. Just leave that in there. It's got a special redirect. We're going to work with this one. Okay. So now I'm going to go back to sites, and inside the system, when you guys sign up, we give you a custom built high ticket funnel. That's what this one is. So it's not custom built. I'm sorry. It's a template that's already built. So I'm going to remove this domain because I was using this in a demo for the other one. And then I'll show you how easy it is to connect it. It's really just a CD. Easy. Into settings, pick the domain. Remember not the www version, that one, and then click save. And now that's going to put that domain on all of the funnel steps that are in that page automatically. Now, obviously, some other things that you guys are going to want to do, this is where you're going to put your Facebook tracking code. So I'm sure you guys are going to cover that, but putting it here, we'll put it on your pages all automatically. And then of course, any tracking like leads, like if you need a lead pixel or whatever, you'd want to put that on the specific page.
Yeah, what that means, guys, when Ben's saying that is inside Facebook, you can grab, we're gonna go over it, it's a pixel. So yeah, and then okay, so you get that. Okay, cool. Go ahead, Ben. Yeah, they get it. Okay.
Yeah, you would come in here and then you would put the actual like lead tracking pixel on the page specifically, and then you're good to go. So this is the main high ticket funnel that we're giving you. So simple opt-in VSL thank you page. Of course, it's just a template. There's obviously a million other, templates you can choose from inside the system. So there's a million of them. I mean, there's so many you could pick from, but this is the sort of format that works the best for our high ticket offer: opt-in page, VSL thank you. So for the high ticket consulting, offer, construction offer, that's what I would use. You will see in our system, high level doesn't offer it, but it's in ours because we built it. There's a low ticket one as well. I'll back up, Tanner. Don't start with that. You can always come back to that and use that for liquidation later. I think we were doing $1 million a month.
That's harder. Yeah, it's harder.
Yeah, we were doing $1 million a month before we even rolled out a low ticket product. It's not necessary, it really isn't when you're first getting started. So that's essentially all you guys really need to do to get your domain connected. There's a couple of other things that you may need to add into your GoDaddy from Facebook. So you might need to add some verification, like it's like a TXT record, Tanner. So if you're going in there and you have to verify the domain that you're setting up with their account, you just need to add a TXT record. And the way that you do that is just the TXT and then they'll tell you the value and the name, what to name it, and you just save it. You'd be getting that directly from, it would be like inside probably Events Manager. Let me just make sure, you know how, because Facebook, they change where everything is all the time.
So it's
So it
from.
should be in settings.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Nice.
So you're making sure you're adding to your allow list, that type of thing. And if it's a brand new account, it's going to walk you through, you know, the process of setting that all up. So it shouldn't be that complicated, but just the key is making sure that you're getting it in the right place in your GoDaddy. That's all. So it's pretty simple. And then other than that, I mean, that's really it. I mean, the system comes, like I said, pretty much ready to roll. You know, Tanner will get into all the automations, like on the back end, like the lead generation automations and everything are kind of pre-set up.
This is Elite 360. And one of the benefits we like about this is we have customized support and templates and things that Go High Level can't do because it's too big. If you buy Go High Level, for example, they don't have that support team. They're not going to help you with all the stuff that we could, just because
They're also not high ticket experts. Like their system doesn't come loaded with this. Like
you'd have to make it all from scratch.
yeah, exactly.
It's the same price. You have to make it all from scratch.
I
Right?
pre-built this all these automations that you see here that are come preloaded in your account
So
with
you
Elite
guys will have to
360.
build it and it's just plug and play type deal. Hopefully that makes sense.
Right. So all of the like tagging, like if you guys have ever used Active Campaign or something, you'd have to create all of that from scratch. You'd have to, you know, move them in the pipeline stage. You'd have to set an internal notification. You know, what text message, then an email, you know, you have to,
So
this is all templated out and laid out. All you guys have to do with our system is just come in, just change what you want your email to say, right? But here's the form that I showed you on that page, right? When this is the demo opt-in page, they fill that out. They're automatically pulled into this workflow. See the form?
Emails and texts, etc.
All automatic. And this is just the beginning. Like with our system, like what we teach in our training, like you should drop like a voicemail in here, right? Like we can't do it for you because we don't have your voicemail. You just upload a voicemail here. So it could be from Justin, it could be from whoever.
Just say, hey, da da da, and like it would literally auto send. Like there's so much cool stuff you guys can do, right?
Yeah, that's just one little action. There's a million others. There's some advanced stuff. If you guys have a Slack team, you could, you know, pull this directly into Slack, like the lead, you know, to kind of prompt your team to reach out to them. For example, we do that with some of our higher level leads. There's a lot of advanced stuff that you can go down the road with, you know, inside of Elite 360 or high level. But ours comes preloaded. So after that lead generation nurture, and Tanner, I'm sure is going to get into that, this system automatically checks. Okay, they go through this 2-day, you know, trying to get them to book a call, deliver the lead magnet, and then it's going to check, has the lead taken the action that we wanted them to do? If it hasn't, we're going to automatically move them into a main nurture sequence that we built for you. Again, all done. You just need to customize what you want your emails and text to say. So that's the benefit of the system. But I created this so that out of the box, you guys can hit the ground running and you can, you know, start marketing quickly and effectively. So if you're going to have a graphic designer or a funnel builder, whoever come in and build it, totally fine. What I would just have them do is come into the structure that we've created and just create variations of the same step, which they can do right here, right? So that way you're following the outline and the layout that works the best. This is literally our layout. I mean, I know it sounds simple. Opt-in page, VSL, thank you page. That is it. And that's how we've created $100 million over the last 6 years. Those first 3 steps, those are the core, right? And those are the main things that make the whole thing work.
So this would be what we'd recommend too, because we used to use ClickFunnels, and the downside of ClickFunnels now is you have to integrate a bunch of services. So you have to use Active Campaign and then this and that. What's nice about this is it's all in one place. And then we have all the stuff set up. So like what Ben was saying is it's $97 a month. You're going to pay either way. But with us, we have a custom support team and we have the pages. That's your guys' call, but that's why we recommend this, because this is part of what we do with our clients.
I'll take you into our Elite CEO system. I mean, you can see it working like real time. It's not hype. Like
check this out. This is our stuff right here that is showing.
So we've got 175,000 leads over the last probably 10 months that we've been using this with, you know, fully.
You guys could have your team messaging here or on actual Instagram because it pulls it from the API. You see that?
This puts all of the text, email,
everything from everywhere, business page, personal page,
all in one place. If I wanted to star this person, I can do that. And then I've got some quick actions that I can take. But this, of course, Elite 360 is a full on CRM. The other thing would be custom email. So email has really changed a lot. over the years. That's one of the things that you're going to do with GoDaddy is you're going to want to set up a custom email service. And we have that inside of Elite 360. You don't have to pay anything extra for it. You're going to pay to send the email, obviously. But if you don't have your email set up properly, your emails are going to go straight to spam or they'll get blocked altogether. Our system is set up so that it's very easy to make sure that that doesn't happen. This will blow your mind. I think we sent like 1 million emails over the last 30 days, something like that. We have a 99.5% deliverability rate, which is really good. We have a 52.96, 53% open rate. The industry average is 20%. This, and of course we have training, right? So you guys aren't coming into this and oh shit, what do I do? We have a custom built training program. This is not through high level. This is us. So we have a detailed onboarding, walks you through all of the steps. One other really cool feature that I'll show you that if you're going to be doing anything on social media, you absolutely need to implement, and that's the automation with DM. So we can do an automatic DM reply. So picture this: you've got Justin, hey, he's doing a live or something on Instagram or whatever, and on Facebook, whatever. And he's like, he's talking about, I'll just do construction, like some of the core components of, building a strong, construction offer, right? Or construction proposal or whatever, and say, hey guys, by the way, if you want this, DM me the word proposal and I'll send it over to you. So I can set that up inside of Elite 360 where when they come in and they send me a specific word contains the phrase, let's say proposal, right? It's automatically, as soon as they send that, it's automatically going to kick back a link. So you don't have to pay someone, a physical employee, to be there to man that process. And then you could ask for a specific action like, hey, by the way, how long has your construction business been in business? Let's say you ask that question. I could wait for a reply, right? And if they replied, I could send another message back, or I could, this is where we can kind of get back into that ManyChat kind of example, where you could actually have the bot have a little bit of a conversation based on their responses without having to have a human involved in the process at all. Very, very cool. And a really important step if you're going to be driving any direct traffic from organic, so not just paid ads, but organic as well. Really, really important to utilize that feature in Elite 360. And it doesn't have to be just Instagram. The trigger could be a phone call, the chat widget from your website, email, Facebook Messenger, Google My Business, Instagram, live chat, or SMS. All of those can trigger that auto response.
Okay, Ben, I think you're good, man. Appreciate you. Have a great day.
All right, guys. See ya.
All right, so that's the shell. Just before we move on, and then we're gonna go into the ads, what Ben showed you today that I was gonna do more tomorrow, that's the lead nurture. Just to make sure we're clear, is that when they click the ad and they opt in, as soon as they opt in here, right, all the stuff Ben did, that's all this stuff. Emails, texts, voice recordings, but that's all this stuff. And I think you guys get that, but that's what Ben showed you. We were going to do more of that tomorrow. What I was going to focus on more today was this, but that's what we're going to go into next. So it's how to actually set this up to get it to that point. Okay. So next part is actually running the ads. Cool. So this is one of our ad accounts. We have a bunch of ad accounts, but this is where you're going to run Instagram and Facebook ads. This is how it looks. So you would set up your ad account and whatnot. If you're not sure how to do it, it's actually pretty simple. You can literally just type on Google. You'd say, Facebook Business Manager, and you just scroll down until it's an official link and it would show you how to do it. It's really simple. It's not super complex. The most complex part was the part Ben showed you with the, set up your domain. That's where most people get stuck. So what you're gonna do is when you come in here, you're gonna create a campaign. So what we have here is we have campaign, we have ad set, and we have ads. Okay, so remember the campaign is the objective. So if you guys are gonna sell the construction stuff, you can call it whatever you want. So you see here, my media buyer said this is a CBO. CBO means campaign budget optimization. I won't get into what that means right now, it's not really important. But then they're saying bottom of funnel, and then they're saying who it's targeting. So Fit Pro is trainers. One of my main avatars is trainers, and then retargeting. So just so you guys are clear, I think you guys get it, but I just want to be super clear on this. When you guys have the funnels, just to make sure we're all on the same page, you got TOF, so this is top of funnel. So this is cold traffic. So when you run an ad, usually the ads is this. Then you have middle of funnel. So that would be Justin's followers, people on his email list, etc. And then you have bottom of funnel. So when she says bottom of funnel, she's saying people who, usually this means they've opted in. Okay, this is people who don't know him. So like I'll just put DK, don't know. And then these people, actually let me back up on this. This is a page view and this is they opted in, okay? So for example, if I'm running a call funnel, top of funnel would mean, hey, I don't know who this Justin guy is, they click. If they click, they're now in the middle of funnel. So you can retarget views and people who've seen your funnel and stuff like that. And then bottom of funnel is they become a lead and then you're pushing them to a call. So remember, the closer they get to the bottom, the closer we get to a sale. That's all that means, all right? So there's two types of ads you guys are gonna wanna run. I'm gonna take you through both. There's a million options, but we'll just start at the top. So awareness is, let's say you're Coca-Cola and you just want as many people to see your brand as possible. This is the cheapest, but you're not gonna make any money from it directly. So a lot of big brands, Pepsi, Cola, whatever, if they were smart, they'd put a lot of money into this, okay? The cheapest, but it doesn't really do anything. So let's say Justin does a really sick podcast and he wants a bunch of people to see it. He would just put spend behind that. The only point of it would be get as many people to see as possible to hopefully build his brand. Traffic would be if you guys wanted someone to go to a specific page, all right? Now keep in mind, when you pick these objectives, some people think it's not a big deal. It is a huge deal because Facebook's gonna optimize for what you're choosing. So if I say pick traffic and then you try to make sales from it, it won't work because what Facebook will do is they're gonna send that to people who just click on just click, 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 click. That's what it's doing. Engagement is if you're gonna run DM ads. So we're gonna go through engagement and we're gonna go through sales. Leads is for typically a lead form. Do you guys know what a lead form is or an instant form? Have you guys heard of that? Okay, no problem. It's okay, I'll explain it to you. That's why I ask these questions. So a lead form or an instant form. So when you click an ad, typically if you're running a funnel, they'll click and let's say it goes to justinwaller.com. Okay, that page is called a landing page. You guys get that? What an instant form is when you click the ad, the form pops open right in Facebook. So what that would look like is if you're on your cell phone, you clicked it, instead of leaving the platform, it just goes poop, and then the form pops up, and then inside the form, it's like your name, email, phone number. The benefit of that is you can get a lot of leads. The downside that I've seen is sometimes it's not the best quality. So a lot of companies who go for brick and mortar leads or like gyms or SMMA, so social media marketing companies, they like this because what they do is as soon as they get the info, they'll call and email, and then they're trying to schedule an in-person appointment. So they're just trying to get a lot of volume. The downside, like I said, is sometimes Facebook will optimize for people who just fill out a lot of forms. And so it's a catch-22. You have to be a little careful with what you choose here. The ones I usually use is engagement and sales.
And the engagement option would be for the high ticket funnel.
These would both be for the high ticket funnel. The low ticket funnel, you would do sales. You would just drive straight to like buy the supplements. For the high ticket funnel, you would do engagement or sales. For supplements, you want to do I'll explain why. So sales, engagement is really if you want to do DM ads. It just works better because the objective that Facebook's going to do is to get people who click on ads that go inside Instagram and will have a conversation because that's what you want. That's the objective. You want people who have combos. If you do sales is going to be for straight to page, right? Because you're going to either do this for the supplements or if you guys start off with a straight to page funnel. I actually think you guys should start off with a straight to page funnel and then you can go to DM ads if it doesn't work. So remember, straight to page is ad, opt-in, VSL, sales call. A DM funnel is the same thing. The only difference, actually I'm just gonna make this easier. The only difference with the DM funnel is this step. You create the extra step so you can get the conversation. So remember, they can book a call from here, right? Because you're gonna have a button on the VSL page, remember? Or they can book a call from here. So your setters, let's say you ran this, your setting team is gonna go, hey, let's book a call and send them here. You're not gonna send them there, that makes no sense. But if they don't engage with you, but they still opt in, you guys can send them all the emails, right? All that stuff down here in the back end, or they might watch the video and book from there. So you're hitting them from two ways. So usually what I would do for someone of Justin's size is I would start straight to page because it's easier. Because if you guys run straight to page and you're making money, guess what? You can scale that way faster than you can still scale this because you need a big team to do this, right? The only reason I would have you guys do that is if the straight to page didn't work as well, right? So if Justin came to me and said, hey, what's the easiest thing to start with? I'd say start straight to page because remember, when you do straight to page and you're not having these conversations, there's nothing you guys have to do. You would just do the same thing you do now. And then hopefully if this video is good enough, you guys would start getting a bunch of extra sales calls and you just knock them down. That's a perfect world, right? That's easier to scale. That's better. If you guys can pull this off, I don't even want you to do DM ads. The only reason I showed you DM ads is that's what's worked best for me. And I wanted to show you guys both options. So when you pick the objective, if you guys are gonna do DM ads, choose engagement. If you're gonna go straight to page, you're gonna sell the supplements, do sales. You're never gonna do a DM funnel for supplements. That'd be so stupid. Because it would cost you more money to pay the setters than you actually make. Plus you have to pay for the ads. Okay, so let's go through this. Okay, so we'll do both. So let's say it's engagement. You can do what's called recommend in settings. I would just do manual, especially because you guys haven't learned. So you would come in here and let's say this is Justin's construction offer. So you'd say DM construction. You can call it whatever you want. Okay, you guys could call it Barney and Elmo, whatever. It doesn't matter, but you want to name it something that you know what it is. So we say DM construction top of funnel, right? And I'm going to show you guys middle of funnel and bottom of funnel as well. I'll actually show you the easiest way to run ads for Justin to start. So okay, DM construction top of funnel. So we're gonna go next. Now this is the ad set. This is very important. This is who you're telling Facebook to target. So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna pick our targeting. Now, I'm not gonna set this up right now, but Justin will have to create a page that says whatever he wants. He can say Justin Waller, or he can say, you know, construction 101, doesn't matter. Okay, so this page is already set up, but just pretend his page is there. Now, from here, you can choose if it's gonna run to Instagram, WhatsApp, or Facebook. Now, this one, I can't run to Instagram because I don't have an Instagram that says acquire businesses. This is just an example. But if I did, I would just choose Instagram. Click the message, leave that alone. Don't move that. That means it's gonna run ads and optimize for people who click on the message. Sponsored message is actually people's Facebook DMs. So you know, like anyone who's in your DMs right now, if you ran a sponsored message, it would show inside people's DMs. There's really no point because that would mean those people are already customers technically. So I'm not a big fan of that. I wanna get new customers with these types of ads. Maximize number of conversions, that's fine. Bid control. All bid control means is you're telling Facebook, don't spend more than X amount. There's pros and cons. So if you bid more than normal, Facebook's gonna push your ad out more. Because remember, it's an auction. What Facebook's doing is, hey, Tanner's running ads, Justin's running ads, who's gonna pay more? And they're trying to optimize so that we both get results, so we'll keep paying. But if I say, hey, I'll pay 50 cents, and Justin's saying I'll pay 25, they're gonna give it to me because I'm paying more money. Does that make sense? It's an auction. Daily budget, you're saying how much money you wanna spend per ad set. We'll get into that in a second, but usually it's gonna depend on the budget for the month. So if you guys started out and you spent 10,000 a month, then you divide that by 30 days, it's gonna be about 300 a day. We'll get into that later. This is the schedule, no big deal. Okay, this is location. So this says worldwide. Usually to start, I would highly recommend you guys do the US. Okay, so you do US and then you do audience targeting. So you see here, for example, you guys said earlier on for construction, it's 28 plus typically. So what I would do is I say, don't show this to anyone who's not 28 and don't show it to anyone who's over, let's just say 40. Okay, you guys can change that. Genders, I'm gonna say men. Probably not really worth it to run it to women. You guys can, but that's your choice. And then targeting, you would choose anything you think that construction people like. So let's say beer. I don't know. Maybe they like beer. You could choose beer, alcoholic drinks. Okay, you could choose, let's type in construction. Let's see what pops up. For example, you see this construction industry. Click. It's actually pretty broad. Look at that. It has 11 million to 13 million people. Usually, I don't know how much truth there is to this, but Facebook will usually say you want to get it down to, you know, between 1 to 3 million. If the audience size is too small, it's going to be really expensive. If it's too big, then you risk that it shows it to a lot of people who don't fit. If that happens, what you guys can do is you can do what's called define further. So maybe I come here and I say, let's do beer again. So now look at that, it cut in half because I'm saying only show this to people who are 28 to 40 who are men in the construction industry or they like the construction industry. There's a difference between interest and demographics. I'll show you guys what I mean. And like beer. If I want to make it even further, right? I can do, let's say, blue collar. There you go. So that's a comedy tour, but we'll just roll with it anyways. So now it's out to 48,000. That's too small. So maybe I'll come up here and click out a beer. Okay, that's still too small. So you see that one made it too narrow, but you don't want to start like that. It's just if you guys are getting bad leads, overall you're saying, hey, these aren't really good looks. You can make it more defined. And remember, the more defined it is, the higher quality of the lead. So for example, if I want to find someone who likes LeBron James, I want to just choose LeBron James because they can also like other stuff. But I say LeBron James, Nike, and the Lakers. Way higher chance that they actually love LeBron James, right? Because it's 3 things, okay? Advantage placements means you're just letting Facebook and Instagram choose. Manual placements means you're telling it where to go. So for here, if I went to manual, I say, hey, I don't want it to go to the audience network and I don't want it to go to Instagram. You guys can see that this is how the ads would look. You can preview it. So Facebook feed, you guys know what that is. Facebook Marketplace, Facebook video feeds, Facebook stories. So when people are scrolling, this is where they would see the ad. Coming back up to the audience, let's say Justin wants to spend 10K a month. So typically what I do is I'll divide that by 30. It's about $300 a day, give or take. Typically to start, my strategy is run an ad set for the lowest amount it costs to get a lead. Okay, so you guys remember when we talked about that? So let's say for construction, it's 20 bucks a lead. So what I would do is I would do 300 divided by 20, and that's how many ad sets I have. Ad set is the audience. So you guys would have 15 ad sets. So I would come up here and put construction industry. That's it. So this is your first audience, right? I'm gonna walk you guys through it. So now you get to the ad. Now the ad, what I would do to start when you guys start running ads is I would only choose one ad. The reason for that is you're gonna be testing a lot of different audiences. You have to have one control. So if you're testing audiences, the ad has to be the same. If you're testing the ad, the audiences have to be the same. Because if you think about it, if you run a different ad to a different person, how do you know which one's better? You don't. So what I would do here is let's just call it Justin Waller ad, doesn't matter. Justin makes an ad and it's a picture. You can do a picture or a video, doesn't matter. So what I'll do is I'll just add something right now so it's easy, okay? So say this is Justin hypothetically, even though it's not. This is how it would look. Sometimes it's not gonna be perfect, or you can have your editors, if you really wanna go ham, have your editors change it, okay? So go here, let's say, oh, it looks great, amazing. Okay, they let you do this optimization stuff. I think it's a lot, I don't usually do it. And this is how the ad would look. So what you're seeing now is how this ad is gonna look on Facebook. The next thing is then you're gonna do the text. So it's, I'm looking for people who want to get in shape. Watch what happens on the ad right here, pops up. That's how it would look. You can make multiple variations. So you see this says 1 of 5. You can make multiple variations, or you can just do one, or you can choose text variations. It doesn't matter. I usually try to keep stuff simple. You know, a lot of people go crazy and they do all this extra stuff. I just try to keep it simple. The headline is at the bottom. So right here, see that change? Okay, so the headline is usually the most important. So here's how people's eyes work. Ad, headline, copy. So just keep this in mind. Ad, headline, copy. So most important is the ad, second's the headline, and then they go with the copy. Copy is the least important. Sometimes what we'll do is we'll use the same copy and then we'll just change out the ads. Once you do that, the description, you don't really have to do that. Typically the description, if there's room, is gonna show up right under the headline. Then it says send message. Now, here's the cool part. When you guys are creating the message template, this is what happens once they click the message. So I'll show you guys what we have. This is ours. So what we'll do is I'll say, you could say, hey, and it's their first name. Do you want to build a construction company? And then down here, say a button. Say, yes, I do. And then Justin could put his website, and then when they click that button, it's gonna take them to the opt-in page you guys want them to. Then remember, your team can come in, they start having the conversation, and you either can push them to a call from there, or they're gonna do it from the website page. So that's pretty much it for ads on that part. So what I would do from here is, let's just say I click save, and then I would publish it. All right. Now, once you publish it, the ad will go active, meaning people will start seeing it on Facebook. If you want to see what the ad looks like, you can do a share preview, or you can do what's called an advanced preview, and you can see what it's going to look like. There's really not much else on that. Let's say again, it's ready to go. So I'm not going to publish it, but let's just say it's ready to go. So now you have your DM construction top of funnel, you have your ad set, and now you have your ad. Okay. So if Justin wants to spend $10,000 a month to start, then what I would do is, this is 20 bucks. So I'm going to duplicate this 15 times. Okay. The reason I'm doing 20 bucks again, so we're clear, is I'm guesstimating what the lead's gonna cost. So remember, if it's a fitness offer, it's gonna usually cost between 5 to 15. If it's a construction offer, I don't know what this will cost you guys, but I'm gonna assume, I could be completely wrong, but I'm gonna assume low end, it's gonna be 10, maybe to 30. So when you start an ad set and you're just starting to run ads, the reason I don't like big budgets is a lot of people, what they do is, let's say you're spending 10,000 and they go, all right, so let's do 100 bucks a day for 3 ad sets. I would rather, I guess the way you could look at it is, maybe you have bigger circles like this, but you only have 3 darts. My thought process would be, well, look, let's say the circle is this big, but I have 15 darts. I'd rather take that, because to me, it's like I get more opportunities to try to hit it. I'm trying to make the analogy that if you're, let's say you're gambling and you're playing Russian roulette, you wouldn't put all your money on one number. If you could, if you got the same winnings by putting your money on all the numbers, you would do that safer. It's more likely, okay? So what I do is, once I set up these ad sets, you're gonna first go in, you're gonna duplicate it. So before you even do this or run your ads, you're gonna duplicate it. Now, once you duplicate it, you're gonna change out the targeting. So this one is the industry one, right? So we're gonna go here, we'll click edit, and then you guys would just come down here and you would change out the construction. You would just go, what else do you think? Blue collar. So let's try that again.
Trades, actually.
Okay, trades, like tradesmen?
Yeah.
Boom. Okay, so you see that one's too low, but what you could do, you do advantage placements, and then what we might do is we'll do suggestions, and we can add more stuff. So we'll do carpenter, I don't know, whatever. I'm just trying to make this a little bigger. This is too small. You see over here, that's just way too small. These are real people. If there's 4,000 people, for them to see the ad, they have to have their phone open at the right time to see the ad. So if there's only 4,000 people in the whole United States you're running that to, the amount of money it's gonna cost you to get Facebook to show it to them is super high because it's so specific. Versus if it's 2 million people, there's someone at all times that's on Facebook scrolling. Does that make sense? So that drives the cost down. So it's a balance. If you guys want a super specific audience, that's fine, but it's gonna be way more expensive. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So hypothetically, let's say we do this, so we publish it. So we publish it, and then the big thing, remember, these are all drafts, so it's not a big deal, but we have to come up here and change the name. So if this one, I think this is the one we just changed. It was, we didn't. Let's just say we called it apples. And then we change the next one with a different type of targeting. Okay, so the ads are inactive, but the reason it was because I didn't publish it. But what I would do is I'd go through and I'd make 15 different ad sets with the same ad. So what would happen is when you guys start is you're gonna start running those ad sets and you're gonna immediately start seeing a pattern for what's the cost per lead supposed to be. So for example, when you guys start running ads and you have those 15 ad sets, here's what's gonna happen. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, let's say it's 15. This one, let's say you get 2 lead, or we'll do $10, 2 leads, okay? This one you got 1 lead for $20. This one you got 0 leads for $20. Remember, because you're spending $20 the first day. You check ads once a day. That's usually the rule. This one you got 5 leads for, what is that, $4 a pop. You get the point? So what you're doing is then you guys will go through and go, okay, this one's really good, this one sucked, this one sucked, this one's really good, this one's good, leave it on, this one sucked, this one's good, this one's good, this one's good. And then what you do is you would duplicate the bad ad sets and you pick a new audience. And then over time, you guys start gathering data and you go, okay, these are really good audiences, these ones suck. And then from there, once you figure that out, you can start testing new ads. But end of the day, guys, it's just you're gambling essentially. You're going, is this ad gonna work the best with this audience? And then when you find your winners, over time, you spend more money towards those winners. So for fitness trainers, the best targeting on Facebook is what? Fitness professional. No shit, right? I mean, it's gonna work the best every time. Now, we try to target different things, but you will see which ones are gonna work better than others. So once you guys find winners and you start to see the cost per lead, then Justin can go, okay, let's spend 50 grand a month. So next thing I wanna show you guys is retargeting. So one thing that's gonna really help Justin that I wanna show you guys is retargeting. So let's just do the same thing again. What I wanna show you guys here is how to build what's called a custom or a lookalike audience. Okay, so we'll just do retargeting, doesn't matter what we call it. Okay, so when you come down here and you're choosing who to target, custom audience. Okay, so what you can do is you can do what's called a custom audience. So you guys can click here and go to Instagram, do click next. Let's say this is Justin's Instagram. And then you'll say everyone who engaged with this account or anyone who sent Justin a message in the last couple years, whatever. And you can say for how many days. And then you say Jay Waller, IG account, 365 days. And then what you're telling Facebook is only send ads to people who've seen Justin's account in the last 365. That's called retargeting. So you're taking all of his highest quality followers and you're retargeting. So instead of someone who doesn't know who Justin is at all, you're running ads to people who do know who Justin is. So that's usually the lowest hanging fruit. That's where you could start. Now check this out. Something else cool you can do is what is called exclusion. Okay, see this? Exclude. So let's say, for example, you create that custom audience and then let's say you guys are running new Facebook ads and you don't want anyone who already follows Justin to see them. You can do what's called exclusion. And so what this will mean is, let's go back down here. Let's cut this out. Let's just do apples. So what this means is you're saying, run this ad to everyone who's 18 to 65 who likes apples to apples and exclude anyone who follows Justin. So there's all kinds of shit you guys can do. You can run it to people who've messaged Justin, who followed him. You can run ads that say, run it to this, but no one who's followed Justin. You can do all kinds of shit. Okay, so this is engagement ads. There's a lot of stuff we can do here. One last thing I'll show you and then we'll move on to straight to page is you can do what's called a lookalike audience, okay? So a lookalike audience is you take a custom audience. So we just did a custom audience. A custom audience is people who followed Justin for the last year, okay? What a lookalike audience is you can take those people and then tell Facebook, go find more people like these people. So usually the best lookalike audiences are what? Buyers, emails, Facebook followers, IG followers, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is check this out. I'm gonna choose a custom audience. Remember we just did Justin's. Let me back this up. So you would do Again, you could choose whatever country. Usually I do United States, and I will do select your custom audience source. Okay, so let's just say this is Justin's IG followers. So what this means is create an audience that's similar to Justin's followers in the United States who are very similar. So this percentage, the closer to 10 you get, the less likely they are to be similar. The most similar is gonna be 0 to 1. So for example, if Justin's followers are 6'2", with red hair and shoot guns. The 1% would be 6'1" with brown hair who shoot guns. It's gonna be super close, like as close as possible. If he chooses 10, it would be, 5'3", lives in Antarctica, licks seals or something, I don't know. Okay, so all that means is you usually wanna do 1%, all right? If you guys just stick with that, you'll do super well. All the other stuff, it's just making sure you have the follow-up systems and everything else. All the media buying is not that important. This stuff is not that important. What Ben showed you, that's what's important, all right? So there's that. Last thing I wanna show you guys is just if you went straight to page. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go back here, we'll create a new campaign. So remember, every time you do a different objective, you change it. So this was your top of funnel DMs, this was your retargeting DMs, and you wanna make sure you label it well. So I might say retargeting middle of funnel, right? So middle of funnel being Justin's followers. And then this one would be sales, we're gonna do straight to page. So I'll go here, and I'd say STP, straight to page, construction offer, whatever. You come down here, everything is pretty much the same. The only difference is you're pushing it straight to a website. So instead of messenger, this says website. Don't ever do app, don't do website and app, don't do this, just do this for straight to page, and the other one for DMs, you do the other one. So we'll come here and we'll just use the same audience for this just to make it easy because it doesn't matter. You'll choose a pixel. So when you guys create your Facebook account, there'll be a pixel. You click the pixel. All the pixel is again, this is the same pixel you're gonna put in your funnel. When people go through your funnel, it's gonna fire that pixel, so then the data will populate in Facebook, okay? You'll choose a conversion event. Usually what you're gonna choose is lead. When someone opts into a funnel, that's usually the best thing to optimize for because Facebook needs enough optimizations to find more of those people. If you optimize for an application, that's okay. It's just sometimes they don't get enough, right? You're not spending enough money to get a lot of applications. So then you come down here, same thing, creative, whatever, all that same stuff. I'm not gonna go through that part again. And then when you get on this page, you do the same thing. The only difference, you put the text, you put the headline, and then down here, you put your website. So we do eliteCEOs.com, in Justin's case, whatever, and voila, you're done. Okay, that's it, guys. I mean, that's ads in a nutshell. The biggest thing to keep in mind is that all the ad is doing is getting awareness. That's it. Everything after the click is what matters, right? So once you have a system that works, you just dump on the gasoline, which is ads. And then you just crank it as high as you can go until it starts to break. Break means there'll be a point in the business where you're gonna keep making money, but you're gonna make less profit, and then it makes no sense. Why would you make more money and make less profit? Because now you have more work and more overhead and more problems, right? And when you guys start, like I said, is Justin can just start by posting on his social to the funnel that you guys want, and you guys just start going from there. You don't even have to run ads because he has traffic. The reason people pay for ads is they don't have enough traffic. You guys have to understand, this is the funniest part. What Justin and you guys have done is harder to do. You've built an audience organically by building viral content. The only difference is instead of just trying to make viral content, you want it to really call out the person. It's just gonna be more direct. And then the better the offer, the better the ads work, and the easier it is to win. So when you take a really good offer with a really good social media, with a really good back-end system, dude, you destroy. So anyways, hopefully that makes sense to you guys. But if you guys can get the back end set up, build that out, understand how that works, use the support system, emails, that's the biggest thing. And then when Justin is doing organic, it's gonna work way better because now instead of just, hey, click the link in my bio to buy the real world, he's like, click the link in my bio for this, and they're gonna get slammed on the back end. Plus he's doing all his organic content, Telegram.
So we're really lacking just the funnel aspect of things. Marketing
And the
is
back
already
end.
down. And
Yeah,
the
your
back
front
end
end
as well.
marketing is great. You guys understand, obviously the content will have to change to the offer, but you guys have a video team that gets that. That's perfect. So all we need is when they click, where are they going and what's happening on the back end. If you guys can fix that, running the ads, that's easy. And then remember, you can target all Justin's followers. And he's never done that. So imagine people who are following Justin, the second they hit his page, they start getting those ads. So they're like, oh, those people are more likely to buy. Usually they're 4 times more likely. So when you guys first start, you're gonna make a ton of money because you're gonna squeeze all the juice at the top and then it will start to even out. But at the beginning, you guys are gonna get a massive influx, probably. Everything in sales is follow-up. So think about it. When people come through my ads, think about it. They get a DM, they get an email, they get a text, they get a voicemail, they get retargeting ads. You guys are already getting those. You haven't even clicked anything. We call them, we push them to our Facebook groups, we do live events, plus my organic content. I mean, we're slamming people. So hopefully that was helpful. Tomorrow we'll either go over sales or more lead nurturing, I'll decide. And then after that we'll do client fulfillment and then Ascension. And Ascension is gonna be more of the back end products, how to do, you know, what to say to clients, et cetera, et cetera. But hopefully, you know, today was a good start and that's more of the stuff you guys are looking for.